Hi, my name is David Layton.
I'm Norma Layton.
This evening we're going to be preparing a oven roasted pork loin that's been brined with all sorts of great stuff. And then we're also doing an apple walnut gorgonzola risotto.
So we're going to start with the risotto, and the kitchen staff here at Fountainhead and Chef Todd have prepped and measured all of our ingredients, so we're really thankful for that. The ingredients for the risotto include arborio rice, which has that high starch, creamy consistency, and a lot of cheese. We have Parmesan, Gorgonzola, and goat cheese. We also included apples and marjoram.
Not margarine,
No,
but
marjoram, right. And walnuts, which this evening will be served on the side. Typically, we put the walnuts in the risotto, but this evening, because of nut allergies, we're going to have that on the side.
Yeah, if you have nut allergies or if you just don't like the acidity levels in walnuts, and when you serve them on the side, you can do fun things like, make little snowman faces and things with your walnuts. So it's a fun way to serve them on the side.
And then we have olive oil, and then after we mix up the base, we'll move into actually assembling the walnut gorgonzola risotto.
So let's move these things off to the side a little bit so we can get the camera from above. What do we start with here?
We start with the aromatics.
Okay.
First, it's going to be the olive oil and butter. You're going to add that to the pot.
Now, this is a recipe that came from Jamie Oliver, and he's a British guy, so he actually uses a dollop of butter. But, we didn't have a dollop measure, so we're just going to use a spoonful or a handful of butter. And now we're going to add
The onion and celery.
the onion and celery. You'll want to cook these until they're starting to get translucent and the aroma starts to come out.
So
All right.
now we're going to add the rice.
Okay.
And you're going to stir it until it sizzles.
So the idea here is to toast the rice until it gets a little bit translucent around the edges. And the idea here is to soften up the outside so that when we start adding the broth, it pulls out the broth and the wine. It pulls out the starch and starts to form that creamy texture that we want without overcooking the center, while maintaining that nice al dente center. So what's the next step there?
We're going to add the wine. You can use a dry wine, or you can use vermouth. And this is the big aroma, as if there hasn't been a lot of aroma already.
I thought the big aroma were the aromatics, but actually it's the wine and the vermouth.
That's
now
correct.
we typically use a vermouth because when we're cooking, we're also drinking martinis. But not all the time, but occasionally. So we're going to add the wine. Let the rice absorb the liquid. We're not trying to boil this necessarily like you would another rice dish, but we just want to keep it stirring and start to form that nice starchy, creamy liquid that you recognize as risotto. So we're going to move on to the actual base that's been prepared for us. Is that right?
We are.
Okay. This is enough stock to prepare a whole dish, but we're just going to be adding a small amount of this to the base that's already been prepared.
After the stock, you put your risotto base in and stir. So as this warms up, it should become creamy and silky.
Okay.
And now, the next step, butter.
Butter. It's that dollop thing. Now, what do we do after we have the butter?
Gorgonzola, Parmesan, and goat cheese.
3 cheeses.
3 cheeses.
And we're not putting all of this in there.
No, definitely
we
not.
really don't have a whole lot of
The base.
the base. Okay. And the other cheeses?
Parmesan.
Now we would typically add grated Parmesan here, and that would really melt into the dish pretty quickly. But we're going to see what we can do with this. And then the goat cheese.
The goat cheese.
We add the
Apples and marjoram, but I don't see that.
margarine. And what do we do next?
We move it off the heat.
We move it off the heat. Okay. So what's the next part of the show?
So the next part is browning the pork loin.
Right.
It's already been prepared for us, so it's been oven roasted. We're going to heat up the oil, and you want it to be very hot pan.
Right. But when you do sear it, you want to make sure that the surface is dry. If you need to dab it down with some paper towels or something, then do that. So I think we're ready for
Olive oil.
We're ready for the oil.
Oil. We typically use grapeseed or avocado oil, but you can use any.
So I'm gonna, since this is teetering a little bit, I'm gonna hold that for you while
That
you.
would be terrific. Thanks. So you're going to sear each side for about a minute or two. You want it to be golden brown, crispy. We like crispy.
You want to do stuff like that too.
Okay.
So yeah, get all of the sides and leave that on there. Let's let that sucker burn a little bit.
Okay.
Now when you turn that down, be careful not to splash the oil out.
I'll try to control myself.
Try and control yourself.
I will.
Okay. And you could take a little wine and deglaze that and make a little pan sauce if you want to. But we're going to move on to the next portion.
Right, and that is, after it is seared, you want to plate it, tent it, and let it rest for a little while before you cut it.
And why do you do that?
I don't know, David, why do you do that?
So you can pour another glass of wine.
Okay, that's good.
No,
Makes sense to me?
Because when you sear a meat like this, it kind of pushes all the juices back into the center of the meat, and it gives it an opportunity to go back into the loin. So let's pretend that this has been tented under some foil and rested for 5 or 10 minutes to let the juices get back into the loin, and just cut nice thin slices. Not my knife either, so I just might do the whole red coat thing.
Wouldn't be the first time.
No, you should see me with a kitchen mandolin. Whew. Okay, so now we have the pork loin cut. All right. The secret to this dish for everyone eating here this evening is that we didn't make it. It was made by Chef Todd and the staff here at Fountainhead. So we're grateful for that indeed. Sometimes we'll do a pan sauce that's mustard based. Sometimes we'll do a balsamic reduction.
And I like to put a little bit of apple and walnuts on top
Absolutely.
as a garnish. So we'll do a little bit of the pecan. I'm going to break it up a little.
Put some of the pretend walnuts on.
Well, we're going to do pecan this evening. So.
All right. And so that is our oven roasted pork loin with walnut, apple, and gorgonzola risotto.